Dear viewers, welcome to the course System Software and Compilers. This is session 1 of Module 1. Myself, Satisha MS, Assistant Professor, Department of Computer Science and Engineering, Canara Engineering College, Bantwal, Mangaluru. In this video, I am going to cover Introduction to System Software and Machine Architecture, and Machine Architecture of SIC and SIC/XE machines. Introduction to System Software. Before we start with a definition of a system software, first let us see what you mean by a software. As you all know that software is a set of programs, or you can say it's a collection of programs which is designed to perform a well-defined function. And a program is a set of instructions written to solve a particular problem. As you all know that if you wanted to solve a real world problems by using a computer as a tool, you need to write a program. Program is a set of instructions to solve a particular problem, and collection of such program is called a software. There are two main types of software. One is system software and another one is application software. System software is a type of computer program that is designed to run a computer hardware and application programs. In other words, you can say that the system software acts as a interface between the computer hardware and the user application. The operating system is the best known example of a system software. The operating system manages all other programs in a computer. The other well-known examples for system software are device drivers, firmwares, and utility softwares. Application software, or in short it's called as app. In information technology, application software is a computer program designed to help people perform an activity. Depending on the activity for which it was designed, an application can manipulate text, numbers, audio, graphics, and a combination of these elements. The examples of application software are Microsoft suite of a product like Microsoft Office, Microsoft Word, Microsoft Excel, PowerPoint presentation, etc. are the some of the examples of application software. And other examples of application software are internet browsers like Firefox, Chrome, Safari, etc. are the some of the examples of application software. Now we'll see the difference between system software and application software. System softwares are written in low level language to interact with the computer hardwares, and application softwares are written in high level languages, and they are developed as a some specific purpose softwares. System software is used for operating computer hardware. In other words, application softwares are used by the user to perform a specific task. Most of the system softwares are installed on the computer when the operating system is installed, but the application softwares are installed according to the user requirements. As mentioned in the above point, system software are specific to system hardware, so less or no user interaction available in case of system software. There is no direct interaction with a system software in most of the cases. But in case of application software, user can interact with it as user interface is available in this case. System software can run independently. It provides platform for running application software. On the other hand, application software cannot run independently. They cannot run without the presence of system software. Some examples of the system software are compiler, assembler, linker, loader, device drivers, debuggers, etc. Examples of application software are Microsoft Word, Microsoft Office, web browsers, media player, etc. System software and machine architecture. Before designing any system software, one should know the architecture of the machine to which he is going to design a software. You people may have already come across some of the system softwares when you study your first programming subject. They are text editor. These text editor are used to create and modify the program. Compiler and assembler are used to translate the programs into machine language. Loaders and linkers are used to load the program into memory and prepare for execution by linking one or more object files. And debuggers are used to detect the error in the program. So these are the some of the system software that you people have already used in the programming language subject. This diagram shows the concept of a system software. When you purchase a computer, the first system software that's going to be installed into your computer is operating system. As I already explained in the previous slide, that operating system is also an example of system software. The operating system is the best known example of a system software. This operating system is going to manage all the other programs in the computer. After the operating system, some of the other system softwares that's going to be installed into your computer or text editor to create and modify the program, macro processor, debugger to test the error, compiler and assembler to translate the high level programming language into machine level language, linker and loader is to load the program for execution into a memory. So these are all the examples, some of the examples of a system software: operating system, compiler, assembler, loader and linker, debugger, macro processor, text editor, iterative program are the examples of the system software. After installing the system software programs, you are going to install the application program. First, in the layered approach of a system software, bare machine, and then upon that you are going to install operating system. After the operating system, you are going to install the required system software like compiler, assembler, linker and loader, debugger, macro processor, text editor, utility program, etc. Then upon that you are going to install the application program. The user, as I already mentioned in the previous slide while explaining the difference between system software and application software, the user is always going to interact directly only with the application program. In most of the cases, the users are not going to interact directly with the system software. User is going to interact directly with the application software. Machine architecture of SIC, that means simplified instructional computer. As I already mentioned in the previous slide, that before designing any system software, one should know the architecture of the machine. So that's why the author has explained the architecture of hypothetical machine, that means imaginary machine that has hardware features which are often found in real machine, because explaining the architecture of the real machine is a difficult task. So that's why the author has taken an imaginary machine to explain the architecture. So there are two versions of the SIC machine. One is standard model of SIC and another one is SIC bar XE. XE stands for extra equipment or expensive. So let us start with the memory architecture of the SIC with a memory. Here the memory of a SIC machine consists of 8-bit byte and 3 consecutive bytes form a word. That means size of the word is equal to 3 bytes. All addresses on SIC are byte addresses. Words are addressed by the location of their lowest numbered byte, and the size of the memory in SIC machine is 2 to the power of 50, that is 32,768. The total size of the memory in case of SIC machine is 32,768, that is 2 to the power of 15 bytes. There are 5 registers are available in SIC machine. Size of each register is 24 bits. These are the following registers available in SIC machine. First one is A, accumulator, used for arithmetic operation. Each of the registers are assigned with a number. The number assigned to an accumulator is 0. Then next is X, the number assigned is 1. It's an index register used for addressing. Then third one is L, the number assigned is 2. That is linkage register. The jump to subroutine, that is JSUB instruction, store the return address in this register. Then PC, that is program counter. The number assigned to this register is 8, which contains the program counter contains the address of the next instructions to be executed. The fifth register of SIC machine is SW, that is status word. The number assigned to the status word register is 9, which contains a variety of information including a condition code. The next comes is data format. Integers are stored as 24-bit binary numbers. Size of the integer with respect to SIC machine is 3 bytes, and which are stored as a 24-bit binary numbers, and the 2's complement representation is used for negative values, and characters are represented by 8-bit ASCII value. Size of the character is 1 byte, and the SIC machine will not support for floating point numbers. No floating point representation is available with respect to SIC machine. Instruction format. All the instruction in SIC machine is of length 3 bytes, that means 24 bit. All the instruction in SIC machine is of length 3 bytes. Out of 24 bit, 8 bit is for opcode, 1 bit is for X, and remaining 15 bits is for address. The flag bit X is used to indicate indexed addressing mode. Suppose if the value of X is 1, then it is indexed or it is direct addressing mode. That means if X is equal to 0, then it is direct addressing mode. So in SIC machine, there are two addressing modes are available. One is indicated by X bit in the instruction. X represent the content of register X. If X is equal to 0, then the target address can be calculated by the address. The target address is equal to this address only. Suppose if the value of x is equal to 1, then the target address is calculated by adding the content of x and the address. The target address is the summation of the address as well as the content of x. SIC provides a basic set of instructions that are sufficient for most simple tasks. This includes load and store instructions to move or store data from accumulator to a memory or vice versa. These load and store instruction includes LEA, STA, LDX, STX, etc. Then comparison instruction, that is COMP, is used to compare data in memory by constant in accumulator. Arithmetic instructions like add, subtract, multiplication, division, etc. are supported by the SIC machine. Then conditional jump instructions like JLT, jump on less than, jump on equal, jump on greater than, and other instructions related to a subroutine or jump to subroutine or return to subroutine. These are some of the instructions supported by the SIC machine. Standard version of SIC, input and output are performed by transforming one byte at a time to or from the rightmost 8 bits of register. Each device in SIC machine is assigned a unique 8-bit code. There are 3 IO instructions for this purpose. One is TD, test device. This instruction tests whether the addressed device is ready to use or not. The value less than means the device is ready to send or receive, and equal means the device is not ready. If the device is ready, then it execute a read data, that is RD, to read the data, or write data, that is WD, to write the data. This sequence must be repeated for each byte of data to be read or written. Now we will see the machine architecture of SIC bar XE machine. So here the memory structure for SIC bar XE is same as that previously described for SIC, except the total size of memory with respect to SIC bar XE is 1 megabyte. The size of the memory is 1 megabyte, and the registers in SIC bar XE machine or along with the registers that you have studied with respect to SIC, that is A accumulator, X index register, L linkage register, program counter, and status word. Along with these 5 registers, SIC bar XE contains 3 additional registers of size 24 bit. B, that is base register, S is a general purpose register, T is also a general purpose register. There is no special usage of S and T, and the one more additional register is F, that is floating point accumulator. The size of this register is 48 bits. So total there are 9 register with respect to SIC bar XE. So accumulator, index register, linkage register, program counter, status word, base register, S and T. These 8 registers are of size 24 bits, and the ninth register F is floating point accumulator of length 48 bits. So that means SIC machine will not support floating point number. There is no hardware for storing the floating point numbers with respect to standard SIC machine. But in case of SIC bar XC machine, you have a one extra register, that is F, of length 48 bits, to store the floating point numbers. As I already mentioned that each of the register in SIC as well as SIC by XC are assigned with a number. The number 3 is assigned to a register B, number 0 is assigned to register A, that is accumulator, 1 is for X index register, 2 is for linkage register L, 3 is for a base register, 4 is for a S general purpose register, 5 is for a T another general purpose register, 6 is for a register F floating point number, 8 is for a program counter, 9 is for a status word. Data formats. In SIC bar XC, the integers are represented by binary numbers. The size of the integers is same as the size of the integers what you have studied in standard SIC machine, that is 3 bytes, and integers are represented by binary numbers, and size of the characters is equal to 1 byte, that is 8 bit, and these characters are represented using ASCII codes. And you know the SIC bar XC machine is having a hardware to support the floating point numbers. So floating point numbers are represented using 48 bits, that is 6 bytes. Then instruction format, as you know that in case of standard version of SIC machine, each instructions are of length 3 bytes. There is only one instruction format of size 3 bytes, that is 24 bits. Unlike a standard version of SIC, in case of SIC bar XC architecture, there are 4 different types of instruction format. There are 4 types of instruction formats are available with respect to SIC bar XC. They are format 1 of size 1 byte, format 2 of size 2 bytes, format 3 of size 3 bytes, format 4 of size 4 bytes. Then how to distinguish between format 3 and format 4 is that in case of format 3, the bit E is equal to 0. In case of format 4, the bit E is set to 1. In the instruction, if the bit E is set to 1, means it is format 4. If the bit E set to 0, means it is format 3 instruction. These are the 4 instruction formats of SIC bar XC machine. First one is format 1 of size 1 bytes. If the instruction consists of only the opcode, then that instruction belongs to a format 1. The size of a format 1 instruction is 8 bits, that is 1 byte. And if the instruction is having a opcode and 2 registers, then you can say that such type of instructions belongs to a format 2 type. Format 2 type of size 2 bytes. Out of 2 bytes, that is 16 bits, 1 byte is equal to 8 bits. So 2 bytes means 16 bits. Out of 16 bits, first 8 bits is for opcode and next 4 bits is for register 1. Last 4 bits is for register 2. Then format 3 is like opcode and some of the bits like N, I, X, B, P, E, and then displacement. So N stands for indirect mode, I stands for immediate addressing, X stands for index addressing, B stands for base addressing, P stands for program counter, and E stands for exponential addressing. So the displacement is of size 12 bytes with respect to format 3. So format 4, the size of the format 4 is 4 bytes. So here out of 4 bytes, that first 6 bits is for opcode, then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, next 6 bits 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That means next 6 bits is for the flag bits like NIXBPE, and then last 20 bits is for address. As I already mentioned that if the I bit is 0 means format 3 instruction, if I bit is E bit is 1, then it is format 4 instruction. With respect to the instructions of SIC bar XE, if any of the instructions start with a character plus, if the instruction is prefixed with the character plus, then such instruction is belongs to format 4. So then otherwise it belongs to format 3. If the instruction is having only the opcode, then it is format 1. If the instruction is having opcode followed by 2 register, then it is instruction of format 2. Other instructions belongs to either format 3 or format 4, and the instructions is prefixed with the character plus, then the such instructions belongs to format 4. All other instructions belongs to format 3. In the instruction format, if the bit B is equal to 1 and P is equal to 0, then target address will be calculated by the base address plus the displacement. This addressing mode is called as base relative. If the B bit is equal to 0 and P bit is equal to 1, then it is program counter relative. Target address is calculated by using the formula PC plus displacement. Program counter value will be added to the displacement value, will generate a target address in case of a PC relative. In case of a base relative, the base register value plus displacement will gives you the target address of a particular instruction. SIC bar XE machine support all instruction set which are available with standard version of SIC machine. Along with those instructions, SIC bar XE will be having some of the additional instructions, 4 additional instructions to handle the floating point operations. They are add F, subtract F, multiply F, divide F. Here F stands for floating point number, and SVC, that is supervisor call, to handle the interrupts. These are some of the instruction sets of SIC bar XE. Then input and output devices, input and output instructions. Here SIC bar XE will be having 3 input output instructions: SIO, that is start IO, TIO, test IO, HIO, halt IO, are used to start, test and halt the operation of IO channel. So in your exam, you will be given with the question, generate target address for the following object code for the given memory and register content. So these are the 3 registers: base register, program counter register and index register. These are the values of these registers. Base register value is 006000 and program counter is 003000, and index register X is 000090. So this is the memory, this is the memory, and these are the object codes. These are the object codes. So here your job is to calculate the target address. You have to calculate the value for this column. You have to calculate the value for this column. To calculate the value for this column, you should decide with the instruction first. You have to decide with the instruction first. That means the instruction belongs to which type of machine. You people have already studied 2 machine architecture. one is SIC and another is SIC bar XC. First you have to decide the instruction belongs to SIC machine or SIC bar XC machine. That can be identified by looking at the value of n and I bit. If the value of n and I bit is both set to 1, then it is SIC bar XC instruction, SIC bar XC machine instruction. If it is 1 0, then also SIC bar XC. If it is 0 1, then also SIC bar XC. If the value of n and I is 0 0, then it is SIC, standard version of SIC machine, then it is standard version of SIC machine. So here in this diagram, this instruction, last but one instruction belongs to SIC because n and I is set to 0 0. Rest all instructions belongs to SIC bar XC. So once you decide with the instructions belongs to which machine architecture, then you have to decide with the instruction format. Except last but one instruction, rest all belongs to SIC bar XC. In case of SIC bar XC, there are 4 instruction format. Out of 4 instruction format, you have to identify these instructions belongs to which instruction format. The first 4 instructions of SIC bar XC belongs to format 3. Last instruction of the last instruction belongs to the format 4, SIC bar XC, because if E bit is set to 0, then it is format 3. If E bit is set to 1, then this belongs to format 4. Don't get confused with this instruction and this instruction. Here in this instruction also the E bit is set to 1, but this instruction is not belongs to SIC bar XC machine. This belongs to SIC machine because the value of n and I is 0. So therefore calculation of the target address is different for this particular instruction. So rest all instructions except this belongs to SIC bar XC. Out of that, first 4 instruction of format 3 and last instruction is of format 4. So then after that you have to calculate the target address by deciding with the addressing modes. In case of SIC bar XC, there are 2 addressing modes. One is base relative and one is a program relative. So first instruction belongs to the addressing mode PC relative. How we can say it is belongs to PC relative? Because the value of P is 1 and value of B is 0. So therefore it is PC relative. How to calculate the target address? Target address is equal to PC plus displacement. So what's the value of PC? 3000. What is displacement? Displacement value will be calculated from this. So this is the displacement. This is the displacement value. Displacement or address. This is the value. So here it is. What's the displacement value? It is 600. 0110 means 600. So displacement is 600 and program counter is 003000. So it becomes 3600. If you add 600 to 003000 by neglecting leftmost zeros, you will get 3600. So this is PC relative. Then next instruction belongs to base relative because it is B value is 1, P value is 0. So target address is equal to base plus displacement, but here the X bit is also set to 1. You have to add the content of X. So therefore the target address is base plus displacement plus X. It becomes 6390. So base value is 6006,000. So then displacement is this one and X value is this one. So finally we will get 63900. So next here this belongs to the program relative, same formula, you will get 300. So here both B as well as P is set to 00 and I is set to 1. So therefore it is immediate addressing. So no need of using any formula, immediate addressing. So immediate addressing means the address. What is the address here? 30. Address is 30. And here this instruction belongs to the SIC machine. This instruction belongs to SIC machine. So there is only one addressing mode. So only one addressing mode with respect to SIC. So what's that addressing mode? There are two addressing mode even with respect to the SIC machine: direct addressing mode and indexed addressing mode. So here the X bit is set to 0. So therefore you will go for direct addressing mode. So how to calculate the target address? Target address is equal to address. So what's the address here? So address is 3600 that will be written here. Then finally the last one is format 4 instruction. Format 4, because E bit is set to 1, format 4, both B and P 0. So therefore it is displacement is equal to target address. Displacement is C303. Displacement itself is the target address. So that will be obtained, the target address will be obtained from the displacement. So this is how we can calculate the target address for the given instruction. So hope you will understand this. So these are some of the expected questions you may get in your exam. What is system software? Bring out the differences between system software and application software. You people have already seen what is system software, what are the difference between system software and application software. So they will ask you to explain the future of SIC machine architecture. So in this case, you have to explain the architecture of the SIC machine by mentioning or by explaining the memory, register, data format, instruction format, addressing modes, instruction set, input and output. So you have to explain in brief all this content of a machine architecture. With respect to SIC by XA also, you have to explain the same content like memory, register, data formats, instruction format, and addressing modes, as well as the instruction set and input and output instructions. So thank you one and all. The content of this presentation has been taken from the textbook System Software by Leland, L. Beck and D. Manjula, 3rd edition 2012. Thank you one and all.